Hello, everybody. This is Kelly Kleiman, and you're listening to the DealershipNews.com podcast, where we spotlight the who's happening in the automotive industry. It's foot soldiers, visionaries, salesmen, GMs, owners, service managers, and industry vendors alike. Today we have with us Christina Lockwood from Nonda. You might know them from their well-known line of automotive accessories available in a retailer near you. We'll get into that in a moment. How you doing today, Christina?
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I'm really excited. We had a little pre-interview, and I learned all about what you got going on. And, folks, it's pretty interesting stuff. So first questions first. Tell us how you got into the automotive industry. Was it something you've had a lifelong interest in, or did you just happen to trip over a curb and there you were?
Well, I think it was a little both. I went to school for communications and marketing, and I have grown up with a family who actually had a Pontiac dealership in the 70s in San Diego. So it was always something that I knew was in my blood. However, I was drawn toward technology, and so I've done a lot of high-tech technology things and a few other companies that are not automotive related. And in the last 3 years, I've been able to kind of meld the two by working with Nonda and creating some high-tech aftermarket auto products and some platforms for dealers. So it's a little bit of both, I suppose.
A little bit of a combo there. So why don't you go ahead and give us a little backstory on Nonda and how they carved out their rather impressive niche in the industry.
Yeah, so Nonda is a really unique story. We were started by a founder who was at Columbia Business School, and he was very interested in IoT products. However, he wanted to do something that made sense. So, for example, we look at as, IoT products in home would be things like Nest or smart home ideas. And then you have wearables that are really popular. So you think of like Fitbit and all of the active health monitoring. Mm-hmm. And what he noticed is there's no IoT in vehicle. And we think the reason that was probably because of the technology and the way that manufacturers make vehicles. It takes a long time to get that technology implemented. So he started by looking at something everybody uses in their vehicle, which is a phone charger. And we decided that we were going to add features to make it smart. So what our original product was, it's called our ZUS Smart Car Charger. It's a 4.8 amp phone charger. So it's twice as fast as a typical charger, but it also, once you download our app, the ZUS Smart Driving Assistant app, you're actually able to also find out where you parked your car, monitor the battery of your car, and then also use it as a locator and parking meter. So once we had that product, we needed a venue to sell it, and so we started on Kickstarter. So we crowdfunded for a little more than $400,000 for our ZUS Smart Car Charger. And that's kind of how Nonda began. We started there, and from there we've expanded to having a full line. And then just in 2018, we were actually able to expand to retailers as well. So we've kind of taken our idea of bringing smart accessories into your car on a more mass market level.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. But right before we get into that, because you have some really neat accessories, and I want to get into that for sure. But first, let's say that I am a car dealer, because obviously car dealers listen to this, dealership owners and GMs, and they need an elevator pitch. So you and I are stuck in an elevator. We're in Las Vegas at a trade show, and you've got 30 seconds to pitch me Nonda. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what we think we bring to the table, Nonda, is by closing the gap for dealerships to their drivers. The same way we use our consumer app, we give drivers the opportunity to have access to that by using our OBD2 product. And what we do is we insert that in the vehicle when they're sold and download the app. The driver will have the app running on their phone, and then each time they get an alert, your dealership also gets an alert. And even to get closer to to the actual event, we offer in-app scheduling. So it kind of allows the dealerships to close that gap between services and their customer, because we do know that's an area where customers often do go to their mom and pop shops, and we think that this is a great opportunity to increase fixed revenue in a cost-effective way.
And that is a phenomenal 30-second elevator pitch, because it shows a way that a dealer can maintain and retain customers and monetize them through the life of their experience with the vehicle, which is phenomenal. So now we could get into what you have over there. And we have a current distribution chain I'd like to find out about, and the products that you offer, including the smart charger still,
yes.
vehicle health monitor, smart dash cam, and the smart rear view monitor.
Yeah. So we do have, like you said, we have a complete line. We do have our smart dash cam, which is our newest product. It's a traditional dash cam. I think our most popular product in retail is our ZUS wireless backup camera. And I think the unique part about that is it is completely wireless and self-install. So if you do drive that 2010 Toyota that maybe doesn't have a backup camera and you're not interested in spending $500 to install a head unit, you can use the ZUS wireless smart backup camera. It's a rechargeable battery with a 180-degree lens, and the image goes directly to your phone. So beyond that, we also have our smart vehicle health monitor, which is our OBD2 solution. And then we also have our smart tire safety monitor that actually monitors temperature and pressure of each tire individually and can provide the rate of leakage within our app.
Folks, pretty good stuff, huh? So what makes Nonda's product line so interesting to me is that it offers some basic technology conveniences for folks who have older model vehicles. It acts sort of as a technology bridge on some level. So I'm curious as to what is the best-selling product right now?
So, of course, our smart car charger has sold the most units because it has been around the longest. But our most popular product in the current market is definitely, from a consumer retail standpoint, will be the smart wireless backup camera. And I think that's just something we've noticed, that there's not a lot of them on the market, and typically they're cost prohibitive. So ours, if you go to Walmart or Best Buy or Sam's Club, you can get them for $99. So it's a very cost-effective way to add some safety to your car, and also a convenience that I know for me, I have one car with a backup camera and one without. And once you drive with it, it seems like a convenience you can't not have in all your cars. So we've found a way to really make it cost-effective for those users who tend to drive older vehicles and maybe don't want to put the investment into a vehicle that they're not going to keep for another 10 years.
Well, I think that a great potential customer would be the 16-year-old driver. I've got two of them coming up, and one of my cars does not have a backup cam, and it's probably not the one that they're going to inherit. So more than likely, this would be perfect for them, because no matter how much you try to train your kid to drive safely, sometimes they just try to rush out of a spot. It just is what it is, and to have that backup cam is a lifesaver and probably saves you a lot of headaches. So I'm on board.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what you say. We actually, when we have started moving into the dealership space, we've noticed a lot of people that have come across our products in the past will say things like, I bought this for my daughter, or I bought this, for my friend because they're bad drivers. It's very interesting. So yeah, it's been an interesting crossover from being consumer and now talking to dealers and seeing how we can help them as well.
Of course, you're talking to a guy who's a nut for automotive accessories and fun little gadgets to throw in the car. So you just teamed up with Caravana to announce a very interesting update, and I want to let the folks know about the Smart Driving Assistant app rollout and what that does and what your relationship is now with Caravana, although it's not exclusive. Why don't you go ahead and give us some details?
Yeah, so we're really excited about our partnership with Caravana. And what we're doing is we're allowing our users within the app to get a real-time sales valuation of their vehicle. So if you're familiar with Caravana and you know their algorithm-based shopping, what we do with them is we encourage our users to input the information from the app simply by clicking a button. And once they have that information, Caravana will give them a real-time value within 20 seconds. And then from there, if they would like to sell their car to Caravana, we're able to do that in a very seamless process where you can actually, within 48 hours, have your car picked up and cash in your hand. So we feel like we've really been able to partner with them specifically because we get a lot of complete information about our drivers. Oftentimes when people put in those estimation tools online, it's very dependent on how honest the person who's entering the information is.
Sure.
But with the way we are able to use it, we're able to pull the data that's already in our app and aggregate that to help them get a more accurate evaluation of their car. So it allows them to have an accurate evaluation and kind of see what their price range is if they're looking to upgrade anytime soon.
And the benefit to the classified site or the benefit to anybody that you work with is that they don't lose that traffic to somewhere else on the internet, some other site that's providing them with that information. So to have it in real time means that you could keep that person there. And that's actually been a problem with a lot of these a lot of folks who are trying to get people to buy online. Certainly, the car dealerships, they don't trust the evaluation. That is a problem actually. So. So the relationship with Caravana is not exclusive, but is this something that you see every classified site and actually probably dealer site is going to want to implement?
Absolutely. You know, coming from from more of the technology background, it's something that we see as probably paramount to the way this industry is growing. You know, they face a lot of noise in the dealership advertising space, especially. So because we are able to keep our app as the ecosystem, people aren't ever leaving their phone to do this, and so it becomes much more sticky. You know, traditionally when you're even just doing it on a website, you'll get pop-up ads and things that are targeted that really do draw your potential customer away from the site and back to other more low-cost options, or to be candid, or just back to something else that looks more interesting. So by keeping them within the app, they lose those kind of bright, shiny objects that might pull them away and really are able to hone in on what they're doing and what the real value is.
What do you guys have in the pipeline for 2019 other than this? Anything coming up at the end of the year?
So we have some really exciting developments with our ZUS Connected Dealership platform. And so beyond just being that tool that allows you to keep your customer close, we're additionally working on some tools, including a location tool that will help dealerships remind their salespeople where they parked the vehicles. So we really do, as a company, focus on pain points. And so as we've done our research with dealers, we've noticed a huge pain point is that if someone takes a car out on the road and then for a test drive, brings it back and doesn't park it in the same spot, oftentimes the sales floor has trouble locating it. So using the same app that they'll be able to use within the dealership for keeping their customers, we'll also be able to allow them to see where that vehicle was last parked. And so we really see that as a tool that really can increase efficiency. And because we do come from the startup side, we're all about being efficient and cost effective. So that's just something that we see as a pain point that can be easily mitigated using technology like ours. So that's definitely our next rollout. And then additionally, we have a few things coming up with sales analytics for your dealership service people, including, you know, whose test drives are the most effective, and being able to look at those analytics on the dealership's lot to make sure that they're keeping their customers happy and also being the most efficient. We always talk about test drives when we're talking to dealerships, and notice that some people go on test drives for 20 minutes and some go on for 10 minutes. But in truth, if you have the analytics that the person who takes a 20-minute test drive is more effective, that's something you're able to implement. So we're really looking at ways to reduce those pain points and allow dealerships to be cost effective and really compete in a more digital focused time. So I think we'll probably even have others, but those are the two that are hot in the pipeline for dealers currently.
Well, I'm all in favor of being able to find my vehicle when I misplace or I park and I forget where I parked. And that's literally happened to me probably in the last 5 years. I've probably had to get on the security cart and get driven around at least 2 or 3 times. Really, seriously, it's frustrating.
It does happen, that is for sure. And we've heard at dealerships it can be even worse, that they spend 1 or 2 days a month just inventory where everything is. So, yeah, I can only imagine what it would be like.
So what does where do you see Nonda 5 years from now as we wrap up our interview here?
Yeah, so at Nonda we're really focused on scalable growth. So what we see that meaning is right now we are working with larger dealerships to implement our ZUS connected dealership platform. But in 5 years, we hope we're able to have something that no matter if you're a small one-off dealership or you're the largest dealership group in the country, that you're able to use our products and that they're able to streamline the process. We really see this as an industry that needs to kind of have a technology update, and we think that we're ripe to do that. So we want to continue reducing those pain points for dealers and consumers while maintaining, forward-looking technology.
And hopefully you'll be right there with them. Folks, this is Kelly Kleiman. You've been listening to the DealershipNews.com podcast. That was Christina Lockwood from Nonda, and some really exciting news. They've teamed up with Caravana, and you heard it. The Smart Driving Assistant app rollout is in full bloom, and there's much more to come. Thanks again for listening. Check in from time to time. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Have a great afternoon.